Would you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure. About what?
Have you ever read this book before?
What book? What's the title?
The title of the book is A Focus on Success.
Right, this book? Wait,
Yes, so
I actually read this book many times before, and it's probably one of the most interesting book I've read so far. What's up?
ah, I want you to explain me on the chapter for us. It's about decision making.
Would you mind telling me what page?
Uh, sorry, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So, what's your question for this chapter?
What do you think the chapter is about? It's only talk about making decision, right?
No. At first, I thought the same. I actually thought that the chapter only talked about making decision, but turns out there are more. So the book is actually trying to explain and teach us how to make decision on bigger things. See, we tend to make decision every day, right? From it can be small decision or big decision, but most of the time we don't really give much of a thought to it because it's just some sort of small decision that we have to make. But because of this, we tend to overthink and sometimes even regret our decision whenever we have to face with a bigger decision. So here it says on the book. So here the thing is that when we have to face with bigger decision, we tend to feel uncertainty. Many pertinent factors may not be known. Complexity, you have to consider many interrelated factors. High risk consequences, the impact of the decision may be significant. Alternative, each decision has its own set of uncertainties and consequences. Interpersonal issues, it can be difficult to predict how others will react. These are the few things that we tend to think about when we have to face with bigger decision. And so this book is just trying to just teach us how to actually make this decision on bigger thing. It made it shows us method. It's the pro con decision making model. It's the simplistic model yet that I've read so far. So basically, we just need to find the main topic or the title on the thing that we want, right? And then we're gonna find a few points for the cons and the pros. The pros are the advantages and the cons are the disadvantages. So here in this picture, it shows in the book here.
Yes.
The example is that should I replace my old car with a new one? And here, that is the main topic. And then it shows us a bunch of pros that we're gonna list by ourselves. And there's a few cons as well. So in the middle, there's scores, as you can see.
Yes.
Each of these will give us a score, and we're gonna list the score based on how much of these things gonna benefit us. So here, better comfort, that's 3 score. Cost outlay will mean making sacrifice, that's 5 score. And then lower fuel cost, that's the
Cost.
pros, 3 scores. Lower servicing costs, better for family use, better reliability, and there's just a bunch of things that we can list down. And for the cons here, it says higher insurance time and hassle to choose and buy it. Disposal or sale of old car, big decision like this scares and upset me. Like I said, it can be anything that we can list down here. But because of this, it helps us to not stress when we have to make decision, not to overthink or regret the decision had we not thought it through yet. Which is why they made this model or this method and introduce it to us. But in order to practice this, right, we need to practice another few points so we don't have issue doing this. Here, it shows it here.
Yeah, I say
There are 7 points, right?
yes.
A 7-step decision-making model. We need to practice this in order to weight this correctly. It says decision weighting exercise. So I'm gonna read it out for you again. The first thing we have to follow is that we have to state the problems,
Yes.
identify alternative, evaluate alternatives, make a decision, implement your decision, monitor and implementation, verify whether or not the problem's been resolved. These are the things that we have to practice. or else we gonna regret our decision later on. And that is how we get this method moving. I think that's it for the model and the decision-making model. But before we move on, I just want to say that it can be a hassle to, regret or to think things through. We might even stress at some point, which is why we need to actually improve ourselves on this exercise and overall understand this. And that, I think that's what the decision-making chapter trying to explain to us. Well, is there any other question?
So I have a question. Sometimes when you make a decision on something, there will pressures or face to any problem, right? So how can you manage the pressures?
It's actually in this method. Like I said earlier, in order to ease our stress or the pressure that's on our shoulder, we'll need to understand this method because we're gonna think about it beforehand. Like I said, if we want to replace our old car, we're gonna list some of the points from each category, from pros to cons, and because of this, it's gonna ease our pressure and
Yes.
stress because we already know what the benefit and the other thing that the product gonna give us, and that is a way to ease our stress.
All right, thank you, Pai, for your time to share your insight on decision making. It's like a valuable perspective. I appreciate it, and I will learn more about this book. Thank
Yep,
you.
anytime.
Yes.